Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Will you please rise for the opening of our ceremony with the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scouts, please recite the Boy Scout promise.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Scouts, please recite the Scout law.
A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Please be seated. It's in my honor to introduce Mr. Isaac Grove as our Master of Ceremonies for today. Isaac was Reed's then Chief in Cub Scouts and the first Eagle Scout Reed looked up to as a role model. Each of us as boys wanted to be just like Isaac.
Thanks, Jack. Scouts, Scouters, and friends of Scouting, my name is Isaac Grove. I'm an Eagle Scout out of Troop 123 in New Florence, Pennsylvania, and it's been about 7 years since I attained the rank of Eagle. And as you just heard, a Scout is brave, but I was not brave enough to try on my Class A and see if it would fit for today. But the show will go on, and I'm your Master of Ceremonies for this afternoon. I'd like to welcome you all to this Eagle Court of Honor. This is an occasion for pride and joy, as well as a time for serious reflection. The Eagle is the highest recognition that Scouting offers to Scouts. It is earned through the advancement program and specific merit badge requirements and skill development. Very few who begin in Scouting receive this honor, and the wearer of the Eagle Award is the epitome of Scouting's best efforts and beliefs. Today, we have the pleasure of witnessing Reed Snyder Bell realize his hard work and dedication when he joins the company of Eagle Scouts. I would now like to introduce our honored guests who have come to recognize Reed's accomplishments. Will you please stand as you're introduced, and everyone else, please hold your applause until everyone is standing. Congressman Glenn Thompson, Senator Scott Hutchinson, Representative Donna Oberlander, Commissioner Ed Heasley, and the Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War. Reverend Alan Morrison, a French Creek Council Executive Board member and the 2019 World Scout Jamboree Lead United Methodist Chaplain, to deliver the invocation.
Thank you, Isaac. Let us pray. Gracious God, we gather in excitement to celebrate Reed Bell becoming an Eagle Scout. We gather in thanksgiving for the Scouting program as it seeks to develop skills, friendship, character of young men and women. And we ask your blessing upon Reed's family, his Scout leaders, and his fellow Scouts who have guided and supported him along the path to Eagle. We also pray that Reed's accomplishments will inspire others here, that they may follow his lead and strive for excellence in their own lives. Be a blessing upon all of us as we gather in your precious name. Amen. Amen.
I now declare this Court of Honor in session. Today we have the honor and privilege of recognizing Reed Bell as a candidate for the award of Eagle rank. Scouting is no doubt one of the greatest organizations in the world to foster the highest ideals of citizenship. It is little wonder then that so many of our nation's greatest leaders had some of their earliest leadership experiences in Scouting. Throughout the changes in the Scouting program, one thing remains constant, and that is the total development of this boy becoming a man through his physical, mental, and moral growth as expressed in the Scout Oath. The skills are so demanding and the challenges are so great that it's not surprising to learn that only about 2% of all boys in scouting achieve the rank of Eagle Scout each year. When most boys enter scouting, they picture themselves as someday becoming Eagle Scouts. But as you know, there are just too many activities and other interests clamoring for their attention, and the flames that were burning aspirations dim to ashes and flicker away, and they stop short. Reed Bell is to be recognized today as an Eagle Scout. His burning aspirations are forged today into permanence. His fire of determination and character did not dim, flicker away, or stop short. When a boy starts into the scouting program, they may start as young as Reed's youngest brother, Toby, who at 6 and a Lion Scout has the spark and the flicker of scouting's fire. It is at the beginning that this little fire represents the innocence and root of the scouting process called the spirit of scouting. This lighted candle symbolizes that spirit. Because the spirit of scouting emboldens and is the foundation of the fine principles of the Scout Oath and Law, it becomes a shining beacon of inspiration. Alone, this light may be little, but when multiplied by the millions of boys in scouting, it can become powerful indeed. A boy can grow through the Cub Scout program and attain his arrow of light. He then may enter the Boy Scouts, just as Reed's brother, Asher, has recently done. The Scout Oath is comprised of 3 parts which are no longer words that are recited, but a guiding light, taking a young boy onto a bright path. These create a new order of life and direction for the boy.
These 3 paths of justice are duty to God and country, duty to others, and duty to self.
As a Boy Scout matures and advances in his scouting career, like Reed's brother Jackson, a life scout about to begin his own Eagle journey, the Scout Law becomes more than words he knows and promises to obey. They're put into effect as part of his life. As Psalm 119, 33 through 35 says, "Teach me, O Lord, the meaning of your laws, and I will obey them at all times. Explain your law to me, I will keep it with all my heart. Lead me in your commandments, because in them I find happiness." There are 12 points to the Scout Law, all important and all meaningful. And for the Bell family, they are rooted in Scripture. As a candle is lit for each point of the law, may we carefully reflect on these words and how they can guide your life.
The Scout is trustworthy. The Scout is loyal. The Scout is helpful. The Scout is friendly. Scout is courteous. The Scout is kind. Scout is obedient. The Scout is cheerful. Scout is thrifty. Scout is brave. Scout is clean. And a Scout is reverent.
Each of these 12 points is an important cornerstone in the building of our strong scouting character. As Reed has progressed through his scouting career, he has lived and will continue to live by 2 books. One, his Boy Scout handbook, and the other, his Bible. So to commemorate this Eagle Scout Court of Honor, Reed's brothers offer this new Bible to read. It's now my pleasure to ask my father, Mr. John Grove, to come forward at this time. He was with Reed at the very beginning of his scouting journey as his Cub Master at Blacklit Community United Methodist Church in the Pennswood, Wisconsin.
Give me a scout that will be strong enough to know when he is weak and brave enough to face himself when he is afraid, who is proud and undaunted in honest defeat, but humble and gentle in victory. Give me a scout whose heart is clear and whose goals are high, who will learn to master himself before he tries to master others, who has learned to laugh but has not forgotten how to weep. A scout who will look to the future yet never forget the past, who has enough sense of humor that he may always be serious. Give me a scout with humility to learn that to know himself is the foundation of all knowledge, who has not followed the paths of ease and comfort, but has solidly faced the trials of challenge, who has learned to stand up to the teeth of the storm and has learned to accept passion for those who fail, who has knelt to give sympathy to those who cannot help themselves. Give me a scout who so stands before his fellow men that his scoutmaster dares to whisper, "I have not lived in vain." And when you find this scout, he bears the mark of an eagle. Now, as Reed's former Cub Master, I did see that fire within Reed, that little boy at the time. And now, all of these positive attributes, I see the mark of an eagle. Thank you.
Reed's Eagle Scout project was preparation, installation, and painting of locking access gates on Rail 66 Country Trail between Chippenville and Laker, PA. These gates are important for maintaining the community bike trail. They are preventing unauthorized use and damage of the trail while providing access to necessary emergency vehicles and personnel. Reed led 25 adults and youth volunteers in 366 hours of volunteer service to make this project come to completion. The official records from the Boy Scouts stated that the average Eagle Scout service project hours recorded in 2018 worked out 153.1 hours per project. Reed's efforts more than doubled that statistic. He earned invaluable skills along the way, and I'll share a quote from his Eagle Scout application. It was truly a privilege to see that a leader is only as good as a leader as the people who support him and make him be successful. Leading taught me that a good leader learns more, listens more, encourages more, and coaches more.
Will some fellow Eagle Scouts join your voices with the significance of this day?
Reed Snyder Bell, we speak now as the voice of the Eagle, for the majestic peak toward which you have worked for many years to climb. You have walked the foothills of the Eagle, first as a Cub Scout, like your brother Toby, then as a Scout, like your brother Asher, then Tenderfoot, second and first class. You have scaled the first heights, marking your ascent with merit badges, leadership positions, service projects, and ever-increasing confidence. You have surmounted the final crest of Star and Life, like your brother Jackson, and you have now reached the highest summit, the Eagle.
Now, however, as you prepare to walk the last few steps to take your Eagle, I ask you to take a moment and reflect upon the responsibilities associated with this honor. You are set apart as an Eagle, and as a brother, you have set a path for your brothers Jackson, Asher, and Tobin to follow. As you take wings toward your future, Let the medal which you are about to receive symbolize these responsibilities.
God's promise out of the prophet Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31, is that those who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not be faint. So when the Eagle Scout badge was designed in 1912, it was decided that a small silver eagle would be suspended from a tricolor ribbon of red, white, and blue. So it remains today.
An Eagle Scout is to live with honor. To an Eagle Scout, honor is the foundation of all character. He knows the Scout is trustworthy and that this is the very first point of the Scout law for a good reason. An Eagle Scout lives honorably not only because honor is important to him, but because of the virtual significance of the example he sets for other Scouts in the greater world. An Eagle's honor is sacred, and his character should always shine as a beacon wherever he may go, and whatever his calling might be. Living honorably reflects credit on his home, his church, his troop, and his community. May the white of the Eagle badge remind you to always live with honor.
An Eagle Scout is to have loyalty. A Scout is true to his family, Scout leaders, friends, school, and nation. His loyalty to his troop and brother Scouts makes him pitch in and carry his share of the load. All of these help to build the loyalty, which means devotion to community, to country, to one's own ideals, and to God. Let the blue and the eagle ribbon always inspire your loyalty.
An Eagle Scout is to be courageous. Courage has always been a quality by which men measure themselves and others. To a Scout, bravery means not only the courage to face physical danger, but the determination to stand up for the right. Trusting in God, with faith in his fellow man, he looks forward to each day, seeking his share of the world's work to do. Let the red of the Eagle badge remind you always of courage.
An Eagle Scout is to be cheerful in service. To remind the Eagle Scout to always wear a smile, red, white, and blue ribbon is attached to the scroll of the Second Class Scout Award, which has its ends turned up into a smile. This scroll of the Eagle Medal reminds you of your obligation of service. Your career of service and scouting must now take a new path and meaning as you head out into the world. The Eagle Scout extends a helping hand to those who still toil in scouting's trail, just as others have helped you to climb to Eagle. The performance of daily good turns takes a new meaning when he enters a more adult life of continued service to others well beyond scouting.
An Eagle Scout is to have vision. So finally, let the eagle of your Eagle Medal always remind you of what you are, an Eagle Scout. You are meant to have vision and soar above the rest of the world, casting a new vision. With God's guidance, you are to aid and comfort the unfortunate and oppressed. You are to proclaim and uphold the inherent rights of all humanity. You are to always be prepared and always do your best. We welcome you to our ranks. Congratulations.
Reverend Alan Morrison, a French Creek Council Executive Board member, will now convene the National Court of Honor.
By the authority vested in me as representative of the French Creek Council and the National Council of Boy Scouts of America, I declare this National Court of Honor to be convened. Reed, it's time for you to stand up, sir. All along the trail of achievement, your Scoutmasters have given you advice and they've given you encouragement. And so I call upon your Scoutmaster, Rick Wetherell, to vouch for you today. Sir, before presenting this Eagle Scout Award, we would like to have your assurance that our Eagle candidate has been faithful in serving his troop, in giving leadership to its scouts, in practicing the principles of the Scout Oath and Law, and in practicing the good turn in his daily life. Based upon these qualifications, is Reed Snyder Bell entitled to the honor the Eagle Badge represents?
Yes, he is.
Did you feel a nervous moment there? We didn't say we wouldn't have a little fun with you on the way. Before the Eagle Award is bestowed upon you, I'm going to ask your parents to come up and to stand by your side, as they have been doing for years. Reed, your father has undoubtedly been a primary source of help in your Scout work, and he will help you to carry the standards of your award to the highest peak of attainment, since the very best is expected of an Eagle Scout in exemplary conduct, character, achievement, and leadership ability. Your mother has undoubtedly been your greatest source of nurturing and love throughout your life, not just in your quest for the Eagle Award. I'm going to ask your parents, who have stood by you so loyally, to pledge their willingness to continue to help you. Parents, do you agree to continue to help your son so that he may grow in character and those leadership qualities that an Eagle Scout should have?
Yes, we will.
Eagle candidate, it's now my pleasure to deliver you the Eagle Charge. Scouts of all nations make up one of the most wholesome and significant movements in the world's history. You have been judged by the Boy Scouts of America as being worthy of this honor. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. That's why so many are gathered here today, to take that moment to rejoice with you. This award, as you may know, is one of honor and responsibility. As a result, you are a marked man. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, to country, to your fellow Scouts, and to humankind in general. It's a great undertaking. And as you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your fellow Scouts. Reed Snyder Bell, I charge you to enter into this Eagle Scout brotherhood, holding without reservation and ever before you the ideas of honor and service. And you shall do that by the repetition of the Eagle Scout promise before your fellow members, and thereby you will become an Eagle Scout. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, you will be sealing your eternal loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout with the same words which close the Declaration of Independence. We're not going to make you do it by yourself. Instead, we're going to invite all Eagles to stand today and to renew your Eagle Scout promise as well, as our new Eagle Scout joins our brotherhood. Eagles, would you please stand? Scout sign. I reaffirm my allegiance.
I reaffirm my allegiance
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
the obligations and responsibilities
the obligations and responsibilities
of the rank of an Eagle Scout.
of the rank of an Eagle Scout.
On my honor, I will do my best
On my honor, I will do my best
to make my training an example,
to make my training an example,
and my status and my influence
and my status and my influence
count strongly for better scouting
count strongly for better scouting
and for better citizenship
and for better citizenship
in my troop,
in my troop,
in my community,
in my community,
and in my contacts with other people.
and in my contacts with other people.
To this, I pledge my sacred honor.
To this, I pledge my sacred honor.
2. Eagle Scouts, you may be seated, not read. As an Eagle Scout, the torch you carry is not only yours, but it is also ours. That's why we renew that pledge with you. And so it is my privilege and my pleasure to pronounce that you are an Eagle Scout.
We are finally at that point in our ceremony, which you've been waiting for. Having confirmed all readiness for the reception of this award, it is now time to formally present this high badge of accomplishment. Mr. Witherell, will you prepare the items for presentation? Will your mother, Ann Bell, please step forward to pin the Eagle badge on your Eagle Scout? In addition to the pinning of the Eagle Award, your father, Jonathan Bell, will place the mantle of the Eagle neckerchief and slide it upon your shoulders. Scouting has solidified an even greater tie between son and father, binding you even more closely. In recognition of fatherly advice, love, and guidance along the trail to Eagle, Reed will present his father with his father's pin. No one will ever know the innumerable acts of self-sacrifice and helpfulness from the mother of this Eagle Scout, which have led us to this moment. As the symbol of what his mother has made possible, Reed will present his mother with a miniature eagle pin in recognition of his mother's love and devotion along his trail to Eagle. Additional companions on this scouting journey to Eagle have been Reed's grandparents, Jim and Beverly Rank. Their support, love, and acts of encouragement are commendable as well. So, Reed will present his grandparents with Eagle recognition pins. mentors inspire sparks of interest into a fire of concentration and development that leads people to believe in themselves, to achieve the improbable or the impossible. They concentrate on the talents and possibilities evident in those they mentor, working to help them push us past perceived limitations, self-doubt, and realize our full potential. They're the ones who make a path for us to follow and then help us along the journey. Reed presents 2 mentor pins. One goes to his father, Jonathan Bell, and the other he has already presented to a fellow Eagle Scout from Troop 82, Cody Stilleen, who due to work commitments in Texas cannot be here today. Jonathan would like to offer a few words at this time.
As my wife said, I sometimes am not always short on words. And this time I am. But in the midst of planning and preparation for this, I actually brushed off some artistic skills and I wrote a poem. And it's called The Bellboy 4. The Bellboy 4. Today marks the first of the Eagles to soar. You each challenge one another to do your best and bring the ideals of scouting to our nest. 2 times the brother you are as a scout. Strength and love you give and never doubt. There's no love like the love for a brother except the love you get from a brother. You've held on to each other and always taken care of one another. You've laughed and you've cried. You've prayed and you've loved. Always together, always forever. You will always be your own tribe, but with the ideals to which you subscribe, will always take you above the rest. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, and friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, and cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. For God and your country and family you live. The Bellboy 4.
This time I would ask that the parents of our new Eagle Scout please return to their seats. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you some distinguished guests to present their special recognitions to our new Eagle Scout. We have United States Congressman Glenn Thompson, representing the 15th District of Pennsylvania.
Congratulations, job well done. Mom, congratulations. Grandpa. I'll get to you last. Please honor and join me, if you would, please. Congratulations. Gonna give you a Scott handshake there. Gonna put the pen in your hand. You hang on to that. Hold that in your hand, all right? Congratulations, and thank you for the kind invitation to be able to come here today and to join you at this great celebration, a time where we come together to celebrate all of the advancements, your journey, your trail through the Scout ranks, the merit badges that you've earned. Well done. The service that you've provided to your community, the citizenship and the character that's been reflected in your actions, your words, your deeds, to get you to this point where you're eligible to have this tiny piece, you heard the history of it, a tiny piece of metal in the shape of an eagle suspended by a tricolored piece of ribbon. And so based on all that, I know you're ready for one last test question. it's been over 100 years since a Western Pennsylvania, originally from Western Pennsylvania guy, William D. Boyce, who grew up in Butler County, and he was living in Chicago at this point, but he went on business, and he made that journey to the coast, which couldn't have been easy back then, probably by train. He got in a ship, which would have not been easy to get to England, but he went there for one business appointment. And when he came out of the hotel in the morning, he looked around, and well, what do they say? In London, the fog was thick as pea soup. He couldn't see his hand in front of his face. He had to figure it was all for nothing, because he'd never be able to find this address in a city that he didn't know. And out of nowhere, there was a little guy that just showed up out of nowhere, and I'll bet he was about the size of your brother. And this little guy come up to him, and Mr. Boyce asked him for directions. And the boy said, "Sir, I can do one better. I'll take you to your destination." And he did. And they arrived at their destination. Boyce got there on time, and being a great Pennsylvania guy, he reached into his pocket for a couple coins to reward this boy for that good deed. And the boy looked at him and said these words, which has changed our nation. He said, "No, sir, I'm a scout, and scouts don't take rewards for doing good turns." Well, Boyce was so impressed with that, he went, when he was in England, he found out more about the Great Britain, the England Scouting Program. And when he got home, he got together with many of his friends, Thompson Seton, Daniel Beard, others, and they formed this great organization. You might have heard of it. It's called the Boy Scouts of America. So never let it be said that one good turn can't change the world. We don't know that boy's identity today. We don't know what happened to him in his life, but we know that one good turn has certainly impacted our nation. Scouting has always been a force for good. It was in 1911, it is in 2019, and will be even more so into the future. So, this Eagle Scout emblem was originated in 1912. So here's my test question for you. Since 1912, how many of these Eagle Scout awards have been given away? It's a trick question. The answer is 0. They've all been earned. We don't get those away, guys. They've all been earned, and you've earned yours. And as an Eagle Scout today, you carry with you tools. Now, it's not tools that you carry in a toolbox or a tool bag. It's tools that you carry in here, and tools that you carry in here. And it's tools that reflect these candles that are lit, honoring you at this National Court of Honor. It's it's the principles of scouting. As an Eagle Scout, in my current position as a member of the United States House of Representatives, when I'm in Washington, I'm voting. I'll be back there on Tuesday. Came home Thursday, back on Tuesday. And when we're voting, we're making decisions that impact not just the nation, but frequently the world. And as I sit in the chamber with 434 other people, a lot of diversity. A lot of diversity in terms of how people make their decisions, how they vote. For me, it falls back on, quite frankly, being an old Boy Scout, being an Eagle Scout. I asked myself 4 questions related to the 3 parts of the Scout Promise, represented by those candles behind us. So the first question I asked myself in the decision I'm about to make, what is my duty to? This guy's ready for Congress. Not a hesitation. No. Yeah, what is my duty to God? Is the decision I'm making is righteous according to God's word, according to my faith? Now, I did tell you there's 4 questions, but here's a tip for you. If the answer is no on the first question, don't go on to 2, 3, and 4. Stop right there. And I'm not saying that there won't be difficult circumstances and consequences that you'll have to deal with. More than likely, there will be. But if you stand with God, God will armor you and equip you, and you'll be able to deal with whatever comes along. The answer is yes. And then we go on to the second question. And I ask myself, in the decision I'm about to make as I'm preparing to vote, what is my duty to? He's ready for the United States Senate. This young fellow, Reed, you're good to go. Yeah, what is my duty to country? What does the Constitution have to say about the decision I'm about to make? And of course, the third question, the decision I'm about to make, what is my duty to Others, that's right. In my current position, that's more than 740,000 citizens, 14 counties, and over 11,000 square miles that represent 24% of the landmass of Pennsylvania. In my leadership responsibilities, it's an entire nation. And in the final question I ask myself, in the decision I'm about to make, what is my duty to self? Now, if you haven't been around the scouting program in a while, or maybe you've just never had that opportunity, quite frankly, that sounds pretty self-serving, doesn't it? Duty to self. But we know in scouting, when we say duty to self, what we actually mean is in every decision we make and every action we take, we are prepared to do our best. And those sound familiar, don't they? Scout motto, Scout slogan. So congratulations, Reed. Very proud of you as a brother Eagle Scout. There is a scout, as an old Scoutmaster myself, there's a Scoutmaster's Minute I always like to share. It's about a young scout who comes up over a sand dune at Ocean's Edge. And he looks out over the beach, and he sees one lone figure and sees objects dotting the beach as far as the eye can see. And as he gets closer, he sees those items, those objects are starfish that are lying on the beach. And the lone figure's an old man. Not as old as your Scoutmaster, but pretty old. And the old man, that Scoutmaster appears, the old man appears to be picking these starfish and throwing them back into the ocean. Curiosity gets the better of the young scout. That tends to happen. He approaches the old man, the boy does, and says, "Sir, what is it that you're doing?" And the old man explains how the tide washes these starfish onto the beach where they, once out of the water, they quickly die. He says, "I'm returning these starfish into the ocean so they can live another day." And with that, the young lad quickly does the math. There's one old man, must be 100,000 starfish. He says, "Sir, I don't see how you can ever hope to make a difference. This job is too hard, this task is too great. This is more than what one person should be able to ever make a difference with." And with that, the old man bends over, he picks up one starfish, he throws it in the ocean and says, "Made a difference to that one." There are a lot of job descriptions that come with being an Eagle Scout, and I'll be honest with you, they're all kind of cool. Okay? That's my favorite though. Because as an Eagle Scout, you know, your job now is to make a difference, to use those skills, that character, that citizenship, that record of advancement, that leadership, to make a difference wherever God leads you in life. To apply those to make a difference in the lives of other people. When we shook hands, I handed you a pen. It's from the coat of arms from the United States House of Representatives, and there's a critter at the center of it. What's that critter?
A bald eagle.
Go figure, it's an eagle. I'm partial to bald eagles myself. I mean, the other ones are okay, but the bald eagles are really the best looking ones, right? And so, but the eagle, throughout and the reason we use the eagle on that is because throughout the course of human history, the eagle has been used as a symbol of both leadership and service. We know you're a leader. You're an Eagle Scout, and always will be. Once an eagle, always an eagle. I'll remind you, though, as an Eagle Scout, you're also a servant. And you will be looked to be a servant of your fellow man as you go forward in that path of life. So, on behalf of the House of Representatives, and quite frankly, as a kind of a brand new member of the board of the National Eagle Scout Association, I'm here to offer my congratulations to you and present you with this Congressional Award of Merit and this Congressional Letter of Recognition that celebrates your earning your Eagle Scout, but does more than that. It also celebrates all the great things you will do in your life as an Eagle Scout. Reed, congratulations.
State Senator Scott Hutchinson, serving Pennsylvania's 21st District.
Come back. I do have to, following Congressman Thompson's remarks, have to tell you that although I'm going bald, I am not an Eagle Scout. Congratulations, Reed. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this ceremony today and this wonderful achievement in your lifetime. It's my pleasure to be here because I believe that the scouting program and the movement through the rank of Eagle Scouting is stands for everything that is wholesome and righteous and decent about America. You, Reed, have dedicated your life to God, to your country, and to fellow man. And these are all very noteworthy and necessary things in today's society. So congratulations for your achievement and your wonderful recognition that we are celebrating today. You know, we've heard a lot of very solemn and serious things today, but it's also a very happy occasion because we are recognizing one of our future good citizens and great leaders, no matter what you do in life, because you have ascribed to the highest ideals that Scouting stands for. I also want to point out that, Reed, although you have obviously lots of achievements along this path, and you've explored many different subject areas as designated by all those merit badges. Holy they're wrapping around the back. You did lots of extra. And I also happen to see that you are a very active young man outside of Scouts, and it brings to mind that old saying, if you want to get something done, ask somebody who's busy. You have lots going on, and you've been achieving in so many areas. So, but I think the highest calling of an Eagle is to live a life of honor. And you have demonstrated your willingness and ability to live that life of honor. I happened to watch a movie with my wife recently called Rob Roy, and there's a powerful statement in there that I think you can roll in with lots of the other things we've heard today and reflect upon in your future, and that is, honor is a man's gift to himself. Think about that one. So, Reed, without further ado, I do have a citation from the Senate of Pennsylvania. I'm going to share a portion of that with you and then present it to you, and know that we in the Senate, although we have lots of disagreements over many, many things, we all agree that the Eagle Award is something very noteworthy that should be recognized by all. From the Senate of Pennsylvania. Whereas Reed Snyder Bell has earned the rank of Eagle Scout, the highest advancement rank available in the Boy Scouts of America. Now therefore, the Senate of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania congratulates Reed Bell upon earning the rank of Eagle Scout, commends him on the outstanding work he's done to earn this prestigious honor, wishes him continued success in all future endeavors, and directs a copy of this document, sponsored by Senator Scott E. Hutchinson, be transmitted to Reed Snyder Bell, signed Scott E. Hutchinson, Senator, Joseph Scarnati, President Pro Tem of the Senate, Megan Martin, Secretary of the Senate. Reed, congratulations. One other thought I did want to mention, go to a lot of ceremonies like this for Eagles, and certain things stand out, and I think today the thing that stands out to me is the fact that you are a role model and a mentor to so many, including some younger brothers. And the reason that stands out to me, I grew up in a family with there were 7 children in our family, and although there's competition there, it's great to have a role model, somebody who's paving the way, getting some good things done, and helping out your younger siblings to achieve and become fine young men also. So congratulations. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your day today, and best wishes in all your future endeavors.
State Representative Donna Oberlander, serving the 63rd Legislative District.
You know I'm going to ask you to come over. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I I too want to say thank you very much for the invitation to join you today. This really is quite a celebration for not only you, but your family, your troop, and your community. And look at your community. It's outstanding. So I want to start with just a few comments. I also have a citation to present to you, but I want to start with a few personal comments. And it kind of segues directly off of what the senator said, that you are a mentor now. You are a role model. And as an Eagle, you've got a whole group here that are going to be looking up to you. And as I was sitting there before I heard your father's poem, I will tell you that I could see the emotion in your eyes, and I could see that your involvement of your little brothers, that you're an excellent son, and you're an excellent brother. And those are things that are just part of what make you who you are. So keep up that great work. That's outstanding. And then when I saw your quote, my goodness, you're so wise. How old are you? Wow, like this looks like it would be something in a leadership book. So I'm just going to repeat that part that really struck me as so insightful. Leading taught me that a good leader learns more, listens more, and encourages more, and coaches more. You are outstanding. I do have a citation, and I will only read a small bit. It's very similar to the Senate's, but the part that I really find so meaningful in it, it talks about who you are, what your project was, which was a terrific project. I'm really thankful for that. That'll help with some safety and keeping the trail good and clean. But it says, whereas through initiative and by his personal example, Reed is a living testament to the virtues of duty and citizenship that he so genuinely and readily displays. And you, sir, indeed do display those. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being a good member of our community, and I look forward to seeing many good things from you in the future. Congratulations.
Clarion County Commissioner Ed Heasley.
What?
Reed, you made it. I spent a lot of hours with this young man doing merit badges and camping from West Point to Ohio Powell and Jamonville. Actually, Jamonville, you didn't know, but your brother Asher and I kept debating whether we were going to bring you back home or not. You won. He brought you back. He actually was worried about his mother. He wasn't worried about you. I'm going to read a little part of the citation from the County Commissioners, then I have something else to present. County declaring in recognition of achievement to Reed Snyder Bell was found worthy of a rank of Eagle Scout of the Boy Scouts of America, Troop 82, French Creek Council, on May 20th, 2019. We hope your example of compassion, dedication to a project, and commitment will encourage others so that many people can benefit in the future. We join an elite fraternity of young men who have demonstrated the morals and physical fortitude necessary to lead in your life's journey. Part of Reed's application for his Eagle Scout, he wrote a letter. The title of this letter, Living into the Scout Law. It's several pages. I want to read you one little part that pretty much summarizes Reed. First of all, GT, he wants to go to U.S. Air Force Academy. Hint. Second, and just in part, once I begin to get my life together, I want to buy a house and live in a rural area. More than anything, I want to be a great dad. Growing up, I had my dad as the strongest role model in my life, and he has helped me in every way possible as I grew up. Sacrificing personal goal to help myself and my brothers to succeed. This is the part here that Hallmark needs to write the Father's Day card. Yeah. I can only hope to be a fraction of the man he is when I grow up. and hope my kids can see me the way I see my father. That's Reed Bell.
And the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War, Isaac Eaton Camp, number 504.
Kind of tempted to just let you sit over there. Go on over. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Trevor Black. I am the Eagle Scout Coordinator of Isaac Eaton Camp 504, Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War. I know I'm not as big a name as any of the other lovely people that we have had here today, but I just want to remind you, you're probably kind of sick of getting congratulations at this point, but you have brought all of us here, our state legislators, fellow Eagle Scouts, and everybody in the crowd. We're all here to recognize you and your accomplishments. Soak it up. Because from here, it gets a little harder. The path before you is going to be long and winding, and it's going to be different from the path that I had to take and all the other Eagle Scouts had to take. It's going to be hard, but you have the dedication and training that you have learned, and they will help guide you. So, without further ado, I would like to present you with this certificate and patch from the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War. Congratulations.
At this time, Reed has a few of his own words he would like to deliver.
I don't really know how I can follow any of those up, so let me just start you off with that. I'd like to just thank everybody for coming and just thank you for showing the initiative and supporting me through everything that I've done. Thank you, distinguished guests, for being able to be here and join me in this accomplishment. John and Isaac, thank you guys for showing that initiative and getting me along the path that I am now. Thank you, Scouts. I wouldn't have been able to finish my project without you guys and having you guys there to support me. Any volunteers and those that helped complete my project, thank you guys, because it was a tough project. And Mom and Dad, thank you guys for always supporting me in everything that I've done. Jack, Asher, Toby, thanks for putting me through a lot of stuff. It's gotten me where I am now. And to everyone here, thank you guys for taking time out of your day to help celebrate this honor with me. Thank you guys.
Reed and his family would like to invite you all to a reception downstairs immediately following our ceremony. Now I hereby close this Eagle Court of Honor and present to you our new Eagle Scout, Reed Snyder Bell.
Interesting that as we've gathered today to honor Reed, I myself, and I am almost certain each and every one of you, have found yourself inspired, encouraged, and challenged to live life more fully for God, for others, and for yourself. Would you bow with me? God, you continually surprise us. Just when we think life's too hard, there's your hand. Just when we feel that we're all alone, there's someone next to us. And just when we feel it's just not worth it, something like today comes along. And we say thank you. Continue to guard and guide us. Read in his endeavors. But each and every one of us. Thank you again for this day, and I would ask that you would continue to grant your blessings of love, joy, hope, peace, and forgiveness to each and every one of us, and then give us the wherewithal to share those blessings and to show them to others in meaningful ways. This we ask in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in thanking Mr. Isaac Grove, the Master of Ceremonies, for today's Court of Honor for a job well done. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our Eagle Scout Court of Honor. Reed, please escort Mom and Dad out. You are all invited to a reception downstairs. Thank you.